Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, Marquette Area Public Schools is seeking input from the public on how they move forward as a district. And the possibility of a government shutdown in Michigan creeps closer and closer. We'll have the latest as Governor Whitmer pushes for more school funding. And the Trump administration is warning against a key ingredient used in pain-relieving medications like Tylenol. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Welcome in. First look at your forecast on this first day of fall. We did enter fall today at 2:19 p.m. We were welcomed with a few showers, but we will clear that out into the overnight. Keeping the skies cloudy, though, some patchy fog, temperatures into the upper 50s. Make sure to take it easy, take it slow if you're headed out really early tomorrow morning. We'll still likely have some reduced visibility, and we'll have cloudy skies throughout the day. Temperatures into the lower 60s, very seasonal, very fall-like. I'll have more details on the first week of fall in just a few minutes.
Sounds good, Kelly. Thank you. Marquette Area Public Schools is taking the next steps in shaping the future of its classrooms and buildings. The district says input from the community will play a critical role in what happens next. Our own John Truitt attended a public forum on the matter and has more.
Marquette Area Public Schools has been working on its district-wide strategic plan, and a major piece of that puzzle is facilities planning. The district wants to make sure its buildings and learning environments can meet the needs of students well into the future. Last year, a statewide infrastructure study revealed more than $100 million in critical upgrades needed across the entire system, findings that lined up closely with the district's own assessments.
Basically, what it provides the district with is qualitative, quantitative data to be able to then move forward with projects that the community supports.
Thanks to the Sinking Fund, approved by voters in 2023, MAPS already receives nearly $1.3 million a year for building repairs. But district leaders say larger improvements may require asking voters to consider a bond proposal. To move forward, MAPS is asking for public input. The first of two community listening sessions took place this evening.
At the end of the day, this is the community-run school district, so they want that information and they want that data so that they can make the best decisions for their students in the schools moving forward.
District leaders say the goal is to make sure the community has a voice in how to prioritize projects for the 750,000 square feet of aging infrastructure.
A lot of that square footage needs to be updated. When you're talking about that big of a footprint, it doesn't take very long to get to a significant number.
For now, MAPS is urging residents to get involved, take the survey, and help decide what the future of Marquette schools will look like. In Marquette, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
The results of the survey will be presented to the Marquette School Board and made public on October 13th. Michigan is now just over a week away from a possible government shutdown. State lawmakers are still trying to pass a state budget and get it to Governor Whitmer before the end of the month deadline. The governor was at a school in Kentwood today, emphasizing the importance of education funding. This comes as one item remains on the chopping block: free breakfast and lunch for students at public schools. Autumn Pitcher has the latest.
In 2023, Governor Whitmer helped secure funding for free breakfast and lunch for all Michigan public school students. But the Michigan House budget plan would eliminate that funding. And she says it's not only kids that count on these meals, but families too. As funding cuts are still being negotiated by legislators, Governor Gretchen Whitmer says free breakfast and lunch for Michigan students is not something that should be up for discussion.
Michigan families the last 2 years have been able to count on these meals for their kids, breakfast and lunch. And this is at risk as we try to close out this budget, something that I want to make sure that we get done.
Showcasing the importance of the Michigan School Meals Program by serving kids lunch at Hamilton Elementary and Early Childhood Center.
When our kids are hungry, it's nearly impossible to learn.
Whitmer says free breakfast and lunch saves parents roughly $850 a year. The governor recommended to keep the program for the 2025-2026 school year. The Michigan Senate included it in their proposed budget, but the Michigan House did not. Amid tensions riding high over this uncertainty, Whitmer says education does remain a priority for both parties.
Democrats and Republicans are working together right now in Lansing to improve our schools and help kids succeed. I've already signed 6 balanced bipartisan budgets. This year should be no difference.
Again, legislators have just over a week to get a budget passed, and when asked what the plan is if the government did shut down, the governor did not go into any specifics, saying that she does still believe it can be avoided.
After years of underfunding, Michigan's public transit systems could be facing dramatic losses, even with a high increase in riders since 2020. Just last year in the Upper Peninsula, over 550,000 rides were given. Now the upcoming fiscal year budget has proposed the lowest funding ever provided from the state. This could bring potential cuts to staffing, leading to less availability in the coming years, while also limiting modes of transportation to education, employment, and health care.
There's no doubt that ridership has been increasing after COVID, and with funding decreasing, it's kind of going the wrong direction. I'm already in a situation where it's extremely hard to hire a mechanic or a driver right now, and this just really compounds the problem.
As the budget waits to pass, transit authorities are working alongside state legislators for more funding. A costly new worker visa application fee from the Trump administration has raised some concern and confusion. The White House is clarifying the details of a proclamation President Trump signed on Friday requiring a $100,000 fee for new H-1B visa applications. On social media, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt wrote that the rule only applies to new applications and does not affect current visa holders and renewals. The previous fee ranged from $2,500. Today, Google employees in New York spoke out against the rule, which could have a bigger impact on companies that rely on skilled foreign workers.
As an American citizen, it makes me sad and angry that these decisions are being made in my name. And I know from speaking with my coworkers on visas that they are scared that if they demand fair treatment at work, they will be retaliated against. So I call on all Googlers to stand in solidarity with our immigrant coworkers because we cannot fight any of this alone.
The White House says it's being imposed to, quote, address the abuse of the program, stop the undercutting of wages, and protect our national security. The H-1B visa rule is set to expire after a year, but could be extended. The White House said Monday pregnant women should avoid taking acetaminophen, an active ingredient in Tylenol, because of what it says are links to autism in children. But many in the medical community are pushing back against the announcement, saying it's not based on reliable data and is likely to cause confusion. Erica Brown has more.
President Trump announced Monday that the Food and Drug Administration will be notifying physicians that the use of acetaminophen, an active ingredient in Tylenol, during pregnancy could be associated with an increased risk of autism in children.
So taking Tylenol is not good. All right, I'll say it. It's not good.
For decades, acetaminophen has been considered the safest over-the-counter medication to treat pain and fever in pregnant women. And the president said pregnant women could consider taking the medication for extreme cases while consulting a physician, but warned most against taking the drug.
Don't take Tylenol. There's no downside. Don't take it.
The medical community has largely assessed that a number of factors could contribute to the development of autism in children, and that the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy is safe. Canview, the makers of Tylenol, issued a statement saying taking acetaminophen does not cause autism. We strongly disagree with any suggestion otherwise and are deeply concerned with the health risks this poses for expecting mothers.
Tylenol, acetaminophen, is safe in pregnancy. If you have a high fever during pregnancy, that can cause neurodevelopment issues in the baby. So you don't want to let that fever go untreated. Right. And, you know, pregnant women may have pain, and that's not something that should go untreated either.
Dr. Celine Gounder, CBS News' medical contributor, says today's announcement could lead to confusion among pregnant women on which drugs could be taken safely.
A number of medical organizations are speaking out against the president's announcement, including the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. The head of the group called today's announcement, quote, highly unsettling, and said it lacked the backing of reliable data. Your first warning weather forecast is after the break, plus tens of thousands of people, including President Trump, memorialize conservative activist Charlie Kirk. And later we have a recap following another successful year for the Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo in Escanaba this past weekend. We're back in 2 minutes.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. We are breaking down what we can expect for the week ahead, but for today we did round off at 67. The average is 64 degrees here in Marquette. Although we did get some rain, wasn't quite enough for any accumulation here. We did see some very isolated showers through the rest of the evening. We should clear that out, and of course we did enter fall at 2:19 p.m. the autumnal equinox. So what does that exactly mean for the sunlight? We know the days get shorter and shorter now, closer to the winter solstice. Today was when the sun's rays were directly over the equator, so even when we do get lots of sunshine, it's not going to be that summertime heat where we have more of that direct angle towards the sun. So it's going to be equaling out, transitioning into winter slowly but surely, and we can expect the sunrise to be a little later, sunsets to be a little earlier. You know, it's that time where maybe you leave and come out of work and it's still dark out. But with that being said, this is a really great time to get the fall foliage pictures. Just take in everything you can with fall, because we are at peak or near peak for most of the Upper Peninsula, moderate and patchy out towards the eastern half here, but we are actually hoping for some more rain. If we get a stretch of dry weather and sunny weather, it's not going to really give us ideal conditions to view the fall foliage. The leaves will kind of break off sooner. They won't get as vibrant of color. So we actually do want the moisture and the rain for all you leaf peepers out there that really like a nice display of the vibrant colors of fall. So we do want the rain, and of course we always welcome it. We don't want a huge stretch of no rain. We don't want a huge stretch of rain. We'll get definitely a mix of that for this week. Even though we are into a new season, it's not going to be a clear-cut transition into fall where we have those chilly temperatures consistently and maybe a shower here and there. We'll slowly but surely work our way into the seasonal mid to lower 60s. We'll still hang on to some sunshine and summer-like temperatures though. Keep advancing this, but really nothing's happening. We might get a raindrop or two for the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, but now this is all the way to Thursday morning and we really haven't picked up any other rain. So most of the rain and the cloudy skies will be contained to the the start of the week here before we get some really decent clearing in that cloud cover. Just a quick update here. We do have Hurricane Gabrielle that is continuing to make its way into the open waters, really not seeing it impact any land for the moment. We do have 2 areas now of potential tropical cyclone formation over the next 2 to 7 days. This red area does have a very high chance that could impact the Caribbean, the Greater Lesser Antilles. We'll keep an eye on it for you just in case you're doing any traveling this fall or know any friends or family. But for us, we'll have fall-like conditions for the first full day of fall for tomorrow, even a bit chilly for your Wednesday. Now, as we get into Thursday, we'll have that tease. We want to go back to summer maybe. We will get a little bit last taste of that summertime heat for Thursday. We'll dip down a bit for Friday. This is going to be a bit of a roller coaster of temperatures this week. We'll get to the weekend. Things will be very consistent. We'll have sunny skies, nice and dry for your weekend plans with those temperatures into the upper 60s.
Kelly, thank you very much. Now to a highly emotional memorial service over the weekend for influential conservative activist and organizer Charlie Kirk. Tens of thousands of people jammed Arizona's NFL stadium for Sunday's event. Thousands more could not fit inside. President Trump and members of his administration offered tributes to Kirk as a friend and political ally. In one of the ceremony's most powerful moments, Kirk's widow said she forgives his assassin. Chris Van Cleve reports from Phoenix.
In an emotional tribute Sunday, Erica Kirk spoke of the devout Christian values she shared with her late husband Charlie and offered these words to his assassin.
On the cross, our Savior said, "Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do." That man, that young man, I forgive him.
Now, the CEO of Turning Point USA, the conservative organization her husband founded, Kirk pledged to grow the movement and encouraged young people to step into their faith.
The answer to hate is not hate. The answer we know from the gospel is love, and always love.
Moments later, President Trump, the event's headlining speaker, struck a different tone.
That's where I disagreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent.
The president spoke on a wide range of topics for more than 40 minutes and called Kirk's death an attack on the entire nation.
The gun was pointed at him, but the bullet was aimed at all of us.
Several members of the president's inner circle and cabinet spoke Sunday as an overflowing crowd packed State Farm Stadium, the largest venue in Arizona, to celebrate Kirk's life.
Now, our whole administration is here, but not just because we love Charlie as a friend, even though we did, but because we know we wouldn't be here without him.
The 31-year-old Kirk's rise to prominence was fueled in part by his debates with students on college campuses across the country. He became a mainstay on the campaign trail and galvanized young people to vote for President Trump.
You know, I watch Charlie Kirk's videos pretty much every day.
Brittany Hegberg traveled to the memorial from Minnesota.
I thought that he really stood up for what he believed in, and I really admired that a lot, and I think the world needs more of that.
Kirk's positions were not without controversy, but his death sparked widespread outrage and heartbreak, and his allies said Sunday it had immortalized him.
You have no idea the dragon you have awakened. You have no idea how determined we will be to save this civilization, to save the West, to save this republic.
The memorial was also a call to action. Turning Point was actively registering new voters as they came into the stadium. President Trump told attendees he plans to award Kirk the nation's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Still to come on your 19 News, out of 8,000 hopefuls, NASA has chosen its next class of astronauts, ready to train for missions to the moon and perhaps even Mars. We'll have that story and more when we come back.
You're watching WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Kevin Hodge.
Welcome back, everyone. Over the weekend, WZMQ 19 sponsored the 4th annual UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo hosted by the Escanaba Daily Press. Our Escanaba reporter, Lily Simmons, tells us how beneficial the event has become for businesses and why it's becoming a tradition for many attendees.
The UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo is a yearly opportunity for hunters, fishermen, and outdoors people of every kind to gear up for another season.
I like coming here and walking around and visiting with people. Lots of outdoor activities. There's all kinds of places to go and fun things to do. Whether you hunt or fish or just like being in the outdoors, you can see what we've got to offer around the UP.
Both local businesses and those from Lower Michigan come together to share their newest products with customers, including some exclusive offers.
This week we brought up coffees and some seasonings, especially for the show. We partnered with the DNR. If you buy this bag, inside is a vintage patch that they've provided, and it's kind of like Cracker Jacks. You look inside, open it up, and there's a patch inside.
Many vendors returned for their second, third, and even fourth years.
I came back because I did really well here last year, and I enjoy it in the Upper Peninsula. My wife and I have been up here quite a bit.
Mike's Custom Rods of Downstate Niles says the expo connects vendors with new business partners.
It's pretty profitable, and I can even stop at some places on the way home, and I can distribute some of my my inventory there too.
While Sterling Heights-based Deer Camp Coffee says it allows vendors to reach new and potential customers.
We felt bringing our product up here, we could kind of spread the word about Deer Camp, because you go to Deer Camp, why not take some Deer Camp with you? Every year it's getting bigger and better, and we love coming back with the Daily Press. We've been working together to make it a bigger, exciting, and more all-around fun time here.
For many attendees, the 3-day expo is more than just a chance to stock up on supplies. They say it brings back special memories they've created in the Upper Peninsula's outdoors.
My dad took me fishing when I was really little when I came up here, and then he took me hunting for my first time, and I really enjoyed that, and so I really got into it. I don't do it for competition, I just do it for the fun, and I really hope other people come do that.
Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
And it was all for a good cause, with attendees bringing donations for the Delta Animal Shelter or Seventh-day Adventist Food Pantry in place of an entry fee. NASA has officially selected its next batch of astronaut candidates for this year's class. The 10 American men and women were introduced to the public Monday during a special ceremony at the agency's Johnson Space Center in Houston. They were selected out of a pool of 8,000 applicants to train for 2 years for future space missions to the moon and eventually Mars. The crew currently living and working aboard the International Space Station shared a message with the new class.
You're joining NASA at an exciting time. We're in a new era of space exploration, going to the moon and on to Mars. We can't wait to see where your journey takes you.
The people sitting beside you right now will become more than colleagues. They'll become lifelong friends.
But others are going to be totally new. As part of their training, NASA says the astronaut candidates will conduct simulated spacewalks and fly high-performance jets, among other things. Humans have been making wine for thousands of years, and like seemingly every other industry, artificial intelligence is getting involved to help. Nick Zechevich looks at how one vineyard in Napa County, California is using the new technology.
In the darkness of Gamble Estates, vineyard workers harvesting grapes will soon have a little extra help.
We're harvesting Sauvignon Blanc, and we're using the electric mode of the tractor.
That tractor has an artificial intelligence component collecting data to optimize water and chemical usage. It's also getting the lay of the land, and eventually will use the map to drive itself up and down the rows of grapes.
It'll get to the end of the row and turn around and come back around. It's actually less of a complex operation than, say, a Waymo in San Francisco.
With U.S. alcohol consumption at a 90-year low, winemakers say economizing is crucial.
Everything from labor shortages to uncertainty in markets is squeezing the margins of every vineyard.
Kia Benya is the co-founder of Scout, a Napa startup that uses AI to analyze images of the vines. The app lets vineyards know what they can expect to harvest and can warn them of potential devastating disease.
So AI can go through millions and millions of photos and zero in on the areas that require human attention. In some ways, we say we're like an X-ray for the vineyard. We're like a blood test for the vineyard.
back on Gamble Estates. Owner Tom Gamble's strategy to harness the new technology is to support his employees, not replace them, as they cultivate future crops.
The Price is Right is back with a new high-stakes game, and Swifties are scrambling for tickets for a major theatrical event. Gwen Baumgartner has tonight's entertainment headlines.
You're going to play our brand new game.
An all-new season of The Price is Right kicks off today on CBS with a new game.
It's your chance to win the lion's share.
Called The Lion's Share, the high-stakes pricing game is a collaboration between BetMGM and Fremantle. It's the first custom-branded game in the show's history.
The contestants can win up to $500,000, so it's an incredible experience for the show, for the contestants, one of the biggest prizes in the show's history.
New episodes of The Price is Right, hosted by Drew Carey, air weekdays on CBS. Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera star in a gripping new film about one of California's deadliest wildfires.
I have 22 kids on that bus. I gotta get them to their parents.
Inspired by real events, The Lost Bus tells the story of a school bus driver and teacher fighting to save 22 children during the 2018 Camp Fire. The Lost Bus is out in select theaters now and hits Apple TV Plus October 3rd. And Taylor Swift returns to the big screen to mark the release of her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, October 3rd. From the 3rd through the 5th, fans can hit AMC theaters nationwide to see Taylor Swift, the official release party of A Showgirl. The film includes the exclusive world premiere of Swift's new music video, The Fate of Ophelia, along with never-before-seen footage from the making of the album.
Now don't go away. When we come back, Kelly has our final look at weather.
And a final look at your forecast entering a new season. We're now into fall. Things will definitely start to feel like it, but these are actually mild temperatures for the overnight, slightly warmer than we should be seeing, upper 50s, lower 60s. Keep the skies cloudy, and we will have some patchy fog. So if you're headed out early tomorrow morning, probably maybe earlier than the morning Maybe take it easy, leave a few extra minutes. We might have some reduced visibility, but headed into tomorrow, mid to upper 60s for us. We'll have some patches of sunshine embedded in the breaks of the cloud cover, as well as a few isolated showers. The rain over the next 48 hours will stay into that low and chance range. We might spike up a little bit to the scattered range for Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning, but the rain will be minimal for the rest of the week. We'll gradually clear those skies too, and even though we're transitioning into fall, we will have a little bit of a tug of war situation going on with fall and summer. Some summer-like temperatures in here, some lower 60s, so a bit of everything as we head through this first week of fall and the last week of September.
Kelly, thanks again. And finally tonight, dozens of athletes came together in Vermont over the weekend for a prehistoric dart competition. Competitors of all ages took turns hurling at ladle, an ancient spear throwing tool, at a bullseye target. The stick was once used to hunt massive animals like the woolly mammoth, long before recorded history. The annual contest tests throwers on accuracy and distance.
We get to use the same weapons that were used 15,000 years ago all over the world. This came before the bow and arrow. It's accessible, but it also feels like you could actually do some harm to an animal, because that's actually what these were used for.
The ancient spear throwing competition ends with a grand champion shootout. This year marked the 30th edition of the event, keeping the spirit of ancient history alive with every throw. Lions defeat the Ravens 38-30, and that's all we have for now. We'll catch you back here again tomorrow.